Have you ever caught yourself wondering if men even notice you anymore? Maybe you've walked into a room and felt like you faded into the background, like you've become invisible. It's a feeling many women experience as they get older, and let me tell you, you're not alone. But what if I told you that men do notice you, more than you think, and not always in the ways you expect? Dating after 60 is a whole new chapter. It's not about trying to compete with your 30-year-old self. It's about embracing the real, vibrant, wiser woman you are now. Because here's the truth, men see things. Subtle things. Quiet things. Things that don't scream for attention but speak volumes about who you are. And many senior women have no idea that these things are being noticed and deeply appreciated. So in this video, we're going to talk about 7 things senior women don't even realize men are picking up on. These are the things that make a man stop, smile, and think, wow, there's something special about her. And they have nothing to do with how many wrinkles you have or whether you've dyed your hair this month. Let's start right at the heart of it all. One of the first things that men notice, and often women don't realize they're even showing, is your confidence in who you are now. I'm not talking about the loud, flashy kind of confidence. I mean the calm, steady kind. The way you sit a little straighter. The way you don't feel the need to fill every silence with chatter. The way you speak from your experience, not from a place of needing to impress. Confidence after 60 looks different than it did in our 20s. It's quieter, more grounded, and frankly, a lot more powerful. Men notice when a woman seems at peace with herself. When she walks into a room not to be seen, but simply because she has every right to be there. That sense of calm self-assurance is magnetic. And the beautiful part? You don't have to try to be confident. You've lived. You've raised kids, built a career, survived heartbreak, started over, maybe more than once. That history lives in your posture, your smile, your eyes. And trust me, the right man sees it. Now, let's talk about something that surprises a lot of women, your sense of style. Not necessarily fashion, but your unique way of showing up. It might be the color scarf you always wear, the earrings passed down from your mother, or just the way you put yourself together with care. You may not think much about it. Maybe you threw on that jacket because it was chilly, not because you thought it looked particularly stunning. But men notice when a woman dresses in a way that reflects her personality. Here's something that might make you smile. Men often pay attention to the little details. The bracelet on your wrist. The way you matched your shoes to your purse. The soft scent of your perfume. They might not say anything out loud, but they pick up on it. And what it tells them is this: you still care. Not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you still take pride in yourself. And that's incredibly attractive. It's never about being trendy or dressing younger. It's about dressing in a way that feels like you. Whether that's bright colors, bold patterns, or classic neutrals, when you express your individuality through your appearance, it sends a message. And that message is, I haven't given up on myself. I still show up for my life. That energy is irresistible. Now let's touch on something even more subtle, your curiosity. This might sound like an odd thing for men to notice, but stay with me. You'd be amazed how attractive it is when a woman shows genuine interest, not just in the man she's with, but in life. Whether you're asking questions, trying something new, or simply showing excitement about a new book, a travel destination, or even a cooking class, men notice. Curiosity keeps you vibrant. It shows that you're not stuck in your ways, that you're still growing, still open. And that makes a man feel like being with you won't be boring, that every conversation, every day with you might bring something fresh. So many women underestimate this. They think they need to be impressive, when really, just being interested is enough. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to be present, ask thoughtful questions, and show that life still excites you. That spark? It lights up everything. And speaking of lighting up, you might not realize it, but your laugh, that laugh of yours, it's a whole language of its own. Whether it's a full-on belly laugh or a soft chuckle, it tells a man that you're comfortable, that you're open, that you're enjoying the moment. Men notice when a woman laughs easily, and not in a forced, polite way, but in a real, from the heart kind of way. There's something freeing about laughter after 60. It's not self-conscious anymore. You've seen enough of life to know that sometimes the only thing to do is laugh. And that kind of lightness, especially when paired with all the strength and resilience you carry, is incredibly appealing. It tells a man that even though life has had its ups and downs, you haven't let it close your heart. So whether you're laughing at something he said or just at the absurdity of a moment, don't hold it back. Let it out. It's one of the most beautiful sounds in the world, and he's listening for it. Now that we've touched on confidence, style, curiosity, and that wonderful laugh of yours, let's keep going. And while we're on the topic of things men notice, let's not overlook something that many women think has faded over time, but in reality has only grown deeper and more magnetic. I'm talking about your presence. Not your physical presence, necessarily, but the way you hold space in a room. It's in the way you listen, the way you carry yourself, the way you make someone feel when they're with you. Presence isn't about being loud or commanding attention. It's about being fully there. When you speak to someone and make eye contact, when you pause to really hear what they're saying, when you put your phone away and focus, that presence is powerful. And yes, men notice. They feel it. In a world that's constantly distracted, being with someone who is present feels like a gift. Like a breath of fresh air. And maybe you didn't realize this, but your ability to slow things down, to savor a conversation, to appreciate a quiet moment, that's something men deeply appreciate, especially later in life. You're not rushing. You're not pretending. You're just there, being real. That's rare. And it's beautiful. Now let's talk about something that's a little more playful, your flirtatiousness. Wait, don't shy away just yet. I know, that word might sound a little strange at this stage of life, but stay with me here. Flirting doesn't mean batting your eyelashes or saying something you don't mean. It's simply the art of showing interest, making someone feel seen, and letting your warmth shine through. And guess what? You still have that charm. You've just maybe tucked it away for a while. Flirting after 60 looks different than it did in our younger years, and that's a good thing. It's more subtle, more knowing. A smile that lingers a second longer. A playful comment that shows you're still full of life. A compliment that comes from a place of confidence, not insecurity. These little moments, they matter. They create connection. They bring lightness into the room. Men notice when you still have that spark, that little glint in your eye. And it doesn't make you look desperate or silly, it makes you look alive. Engaged. Open. Sometimes it's just a simple, that color looks great on you, or a quick, you've got a great sense of humor. It's not about chasing anyone. It's about expressing yourself freely and comfortably. That's the kind of flirting that doesn't age. In fact, it gets better with time. And then, this might surprise you, there's one thing men really notice that has nothing to do with how you look or what you say, it's how comfortable you are in your own skin. That ease you carry when you're not trying to be anything other than yourself. It shows up in the way you sit at a cafe, relaxed, with a book or a coffee. The way you let your laugh be heard, the way you don't feel the need to apologize for taking up space. It's a kind of grace that comes with time, with lessons learned, and with letting go of trying to be perfect. This comfort in yourself is something you may not even realize you've developed, but men pick up on it. It makes them feel more relaxed, more at ease around you. There's no pretense. No pressure to perform. Just two people being real, being human, and isn't that what connection is all about? We spend so much of our younger lives trying to be liked, trying to be chosen, trying to be enough. But when you reach this stage, when you know your worth and don't feel the need to prove it, that's when something shifts. That's when you become magnetic without even trying. That kind of authenticity is something that catches a man's attention and holds it. So, if you've been feeling like no one sees you anymore, I want you to know, you're wrong. The right men do. And not just for what you used to be, but for who you are right now. There's something deeply attractive about a woman who is fully herself. Who isn't chasing approval or trying to rewind the clock? Who shows up honestly, with all her stories, her laugh lines, her depth? That's the kind of woman a good man is drawn to. And maybe, just maybe, you've been underestimating the quiet ways you've been noticed all along. Let's keep going, because we're not done yet. There's something else that truly makes a lasting impression. And that's your kindness. Now I know, that might sound simple, maybe even a little too obvious. But the truth is, kindness becomes more meaningful as we get older. It's no longer about politeness or saying the right thing. It's about how you treat people when no one's watching. How you speak to the waitress. How you talk about your friends. How you listen when someone shares something personal. Men notice when you're warm without being overbearing, when you offer support without needing attention, when you give someone your time without making them feel like it's a chore. That kind of kindness, the kind that comes from life experience and a softened heart, stands out in a world where so many people are distracted or impatient. It shows that you haven't let life make you hard. That even after everything you've been through, you're still capable of compassion. And that's rare. It's attractive in the most genuine, human way. And here's something even deeper: men notice the way you talk about yourself. Maybe not in every little word, but in the energy behind it. When you speak with pride about your journey, when you're not ashamed of your age or apologizing for your past, it shows. When you don't put yourself down, when you don't make jokes about being too old or past your prime, it sends a message: I respect myself. And when you respect yourself, others are drawn to that. They want to rise to your level. You see, a lot of women don't even realize how often they brush themselves off or make light of their accomplishments. But men, good men, notice that. They notice when you celebrate who you are without arrogance. When you own your age instead of hiding from it. When you speak about your life with pride, it invites respect. It makes them curious. It makes them want to know you better. Now, let me say something really important here. You do not need to change who you are to be noticed. You don't need to become louder or dress differently or pretend to be more outgoing than you feel. You just need to see yourself through a clearer lens. To recognize that you already have so many of the qualities that make you captivating, you might have just stopped noticing them yourself. That's why this topic matters so much. Because dating after 60 isn't about trying to recreate your youth, it's about stepping into your wisdom. It's about realizing that the things you once thought were invisible, your softness, your confidence, your laughter, your kindness, those are the very things that draw people to you now. And you know what else? There's something undeniably appealing about a woman who knows how to enjoy her own life. You don't need a partner to make you whole. And when a man sees that you're already fulfilled, already finding joy in your routines, your friends, your passions, that's a beautiful thing. It creates a relationship where connection is based on want, not need. On desire, not dependency. So if you're spending your days walking with friends, volunteering, taking art classes, gardening, or traveling, keep doing those things. That glow you get from doing what you love? Men notice that. Joy is magnetic. And so is independence. It doesn't scare the right man away, it draws him in. Let's take a moment to breathe that in. Everything we've talked about, your presence, your style, your curiosity, your ease, your laughter, your kindness, your authenticity, none of it requires you to be someone else. It just invites you to show more of who you already are. And the most beautiful part? It's never too late. Dating after 60 can feel intimidating, especially if you've been out of it for a while. But it can also be a time of deep, meaningful connection. A time when you finally meet someone who sees you, not the version you had to pretend to be, but the real, whole you. And that starts with recognizing how much you already have to offer. You don't need fixing. You just need to step into your light. So whether you're dating again after a long time, or just starting to open your heart again, I hope this has reminded you that you are not invisible. You are not past your prime. In fact, this season of life might just be your most radiant yet. And now, I'd love to hear from you. What have you noticed about how men respond to you at this stage in life? Have you had any surprising moments where someone noticed something you didn't expect? Let's talk about it in the comments. Your stories could inspire someone else. If you enjoyed this video and want more content that celebrates life after 60, from health tips to dating advice and everything in between, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're building a community here, and you are absolutely a part of it. Here's to confidence, connection, and living with open hearts, no matter our age. You are seen. You are worthy. And you are never too old to be noticed.